Hey guys, I'm Kelsey Small in the Ooni HQ.
And I am Katie, our content manager here at Ooni HQ. We're on our new patio at our new office in Austin, which is super exciting. And today we're gonna cook some flatbreads with chili and fennel sausage and burrata from Gill Meller's latest cookbook, Outside. Gill is a UK-based chef who does a lot of really amazing outdoor cooking. So he's all about getting back into nature, building a campfire, doing some outdoor cooking. So we felt like there was a real kinship with our ovens, which are also about sort of getting out, whether you're in your back garden or you want to take it to the beach and hang out with your friends. So we loved this recipe, and we did a little bit of massaging to make it work really well in the Ooni oven. And Kelsey, our culinary advisor, is gonna take us through how to do all the steps of this recipe. You can find it on ooni.com if you want to cook along or you want to cook it later, but I'll hand it over to Kelsey.
Awesome. So we have been preheating our cast iron skillet in the oven for a few minutes to cook the sausage. We have the oven going around like a medium heat, like 550, 600. We don't want to like cook the sausage too hot of a temp because we don't want to burn it before it gets fully cooked. Sometimes when you're cooking sausage, you have like really crispy bits, but then it's gooey and raw in the middle, and that's something we're trying to avoid. So we've preheated our cast iron skillet for about 5 minutes. We're gonna take it out using our nifty handle and glove.
Yeah, so our Ooni cast irons are really designed for our oven. They've got a handle that detaches, which makes it a lot easier to cook if you're at really high temperatures without worrying about burning your hands like you might if you put your whole cast iron in and then tried to take it all the way out. So you'll see Kelsey will connect and disconnect that handle pretty easily.
So I'm just hitting it with a little bit of oil, and I'm just gonna break the sausage into small bits so they get like a little char on them, little crispy bits, still gonna be very juicy. And this is gonna cook fast. It's gonna cook in probably a minute or two inside the oven. It might cook mostly before it even goes in the oven. It's a little hotter than we expected. Dang, it smells really good. It's extremely smoky though.
And this sausage, before it went in there, has a little bit of chili flake in there, doesn't it, Kelsey? A little bit of fennel.
So this is like a spicy fennel sausage. So it's got garlic, chili flakes, fennel, a little bit of onions. It's a little bit of oil. It's all pork sausage as well. And you can see, it's ripping in the oven pretty fast. Like, these ovens cook this stuff really efficiently. You can cook many different things. You can cook whole links of sausage, especially at a lower temp. I'll do that with our grizzler plate, which has ribs, so it gets like the sear marks. This thing is cooking very fast. I'll just give it a little turn. And if you don't feel comfortable turning and you're worried about burning yourself on the cast iron, the gloves are really awesome. These handles are super efficient. And you don't have to turn it if you don't really want to. It'll all cook the same. Wow. And once we're done cooking this sausage, we're gonna set it aside, let it cool down, and then we're gonna stretch out our flatbreads and then cook those in the ovens before we top them. Man, and this is cooking very fast. Awesome. I'll be ready in about 20 seconds, who knows?
What are you looking for, Kelsey, if you are looking for when you think it's about done? What's your eyeball?
I'm looking for like the color to change, and I'm looking for the fat to be released. And you can even poke it, and if it seems like it's giving no resistance or very little resistance, it's probably done. And these guys are small pieces, so they cook pretty quick. And yeah, those are gonna be juicy, perfectly cooked. You can also use a thermometer and temp around 160, it'll be fine. All right, so we'll just let those sizzle in the corner.
Beautiful. It was a very tantalizing thing to be very near to us, I think.
All right.
Kelsey, someone wants to know if you're wearing a Dead shirt.
I am wearing a Grateful Dead t-shirt, yes.
Someone says they'll buy an Ooni if it's a Dead shirt. Viewers, it is a Dead shirt.
It is a Dead shirt. I got this when I was 14 years old at Gathering of the Vibes, if you know what that is. Still have it. So these flatbreads are sick for camping or cooking on the beach. They proof really fast and they hold really well cold. So if you want to mix them, you can mix them 2 hours before while you're packing to go camping, and then have dinner ready to go at night. It's a nice quick dough, and they're super versatile. You can use these with building, like we're going to build a flatbread with sausage and topping it whatever you want, cooking vegetables over the fire, sausage and burrata like we're doing, or you can cook them plain and then just pop them open and build like little pita sandwiches. And I'll stretch them with just like I do a Neapolitan pizza with a slap, but I'm also gonna give it a little bit of a pull because this dough is a quick dough, so it doesn't have as much slack as like a Neapolitan pizza will. Awesome.
And Kelsey, if you are maybe newer and you don't know how to do the slap, would you just, how would you kind of?
This dough is great for using a rolling pin too, honestly. I would normally use a rolling pin on this kind of dough because it's something that you wanna really make sure you're pressing out a lot of the gas so it doesn't inflate too much. And you could also just use your knuckles to stretch it any way you feel comfortable.
Kelsey, could we cook this on fire at 12?
Oh, easy. I would probably cook this on a fire at 12 because it's easier to bring camping too. This will cook in any of our Ooni ovens, for sure. So I've turned the temperature back up too before I launch it. I want to make sure that the dough is cooking in a hotter temperature around 700. It doesn't need to be like 900, 850 like a Neapolitan pizza. And it's gonna cook pretty fast in like 60 seconds. All right. So what I'm looking for when I'm cooking a pizza is I'm looking for the back left corner, especially in the Ooni Dakota 16, for getting colors and blisters. And I'm also watching it rise. As it's starting to rise, I know that the bottom is cooking, and you can see it's puffing up just like a pita would or a flatbread. And I'm watching for the bottom to cook, and I want to make sure that I'm turning it so that the sides get even color as the dough is cooking. And it got a little stuck, but that's okay, that happens.
Someone from Ireland would like to know if this is a yeast-based dough.
It is. It's an instant yeast. You can use active dry. There's definitely ways to do this dough as a sourdough too. We don't have that recipe online, but there's plenty of like sourdough pita recipes you could find.
So Gill's recipe, he cooks almost directly on his campfire. So if you are also camping and you don't have your oven with you, this is also just a great recipe to put direct on your fire on a cast iron. That'll work too. I think Kelsey's gonna cook both of them for us, right?
Yeah, I'll cook both of them. Maybe we'll get a nicer looking one.
Extra char.
And when you're cooking like this stuff, sometimes when you have a dough like this and it inflates, it's super thin. So a part of it will get a little charred. That's okay. I think it tastes great still. I'm not mad at it. It's gonna get topped with burrata and sausage anyway, so no one's gonna be mad at that.
Yeah. Kelsey, what size oven are we cooking on today?
This is the Dakota 16. These will be great in any of the smaller ovens too. These are small doughs. They're a little under 12 inches, so they'll fit in every oven for sure. And of course, like Gill Meller, he loves cooking outdoors, which I do too. So you probably use a smaller oven when you do. You know, when I camp, I don't bring the biggest oven. I bring the lightest one, Dakota 12, or the Fira.
Yeah, our Fira cooks with wood pellets, which is also a really easy fuel to bring with you. You can bring a big mason jar of pellets, and that'll get you through your dinner cook, which is really easy, and then you can walk out with sort of nothing left in terms of fuel. Our Carew 12 also would be a good one for this because you can cook with wood if it matters to you to have sort of a wood flavor on your sausage and your flatbread. So that would be another great option.
All right. Man, all right, they look good. And when you take a pita out of the oven or a flatbread out of the oven, one thing you want to do is hit it with olive oil while it's still hot. It'll soak it in. It'll like absorb that olive oil flavor. It'll make it nice and moist.
Someone would like to know if this dough would work for a calzone.
Oh, for sure. I would definitely use this for a calzone or any sort of like sandwich. I'm forgetting the name, but the Italian sandwiches where they bake the pizza doughs, cut them in half, and put the fillings in would be awesome. I'll do stuff like this, and I'll make like curries or stews and use that with it. It's really nice. It's a very versatile dough and extremely beginner friendly too. So if you're just starting to get into bread, this is one of the bread doughs I'd highly recommend. Oh, that one looks great. All right. So now that we've cooked these bad boys, hit them with a little olive oil. What we're gonna wanna do is we have this beautiful burrata. We have this sausage right here. What's really cool about this recipe is like getting this burrata, hitting it on the warm bread so the stracciatella pours out, it's really gooey, and then you have the hot sausage. It's kind of like a nice open-faced Italian sandwich. It's gonna be beautiful. And burrata, of course, everyone knows is really messy. You can do this with mozzarella. You can do this with any number of cheese you want. Ricotta would be great. And you don't have to worry about it looking good, you know. There's a saying in Italy, brutta e boni, you know, ugly but good. This food is not supposed to be, you know, the most Instagram-friendly stuff. It's supposed to be very delicious and just packed with flavor. Dang, this feels good.
Yeah, it looks great.
And you can see this burrata is really good, really moist, extremely creamy. Definitely,
Definitely have a towel
5
around.
napkin dish. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our sausage and just, you know, put little pieces. The sausage is a little salty. You don't want a lot. A little goes a long way. And you can use any toppings you want. You know, you can use deli meats. You can use like roasted vegetables. I always will cook with vegetables when I'm camping, like roast and marinate broccoli the night before, and then just have that there and bring it. You can do anything you want.
Shane wants to know if you can find this dough recipe anywhere.
You can find it on Ooni.com if you just search for Gill Meller's recipe, or you could go and buy his book outside, which is really rad.
Yeah, we've got the, if you check out the flatbreads recipe on Ooni, you'll see it has both the recipe for topping and you've also got the dough recipe, and it'll walk you through all the steps. We brought it already shaped here for you to make things a little bit easier, but it'll walk you through how to knead and shape your dough too.
Cool. Now I'm just topping it right now with some fennel fronds that I've chopped up, the finer ones. You can dump it with anything you want, basil, oregano, anything. Like these are the cool thing about this recipe is that once you've done this dough, it's just a blank canvas, just like pizza. I'll hit it with a little more olive oil. You can hit it with some sea salt if you want. I hit it with some chili flake.
Oh,
and this looks
beautiful.
delicious. So I
Beautiful.
think we'll just try it and see how it goes, you know?
This is a nice one if you're cooking for people who are vegetarian and people who aren't, because you can just dress your flatbreads afterwards with all your different stuff.
And I think it's more of a tear and share usually, but you know, we got the pizza cutter, so we might as well just go for it.
All right.
Dang.
This is gonna be messy.
Yeah,
It's gonna
cheers.
be good. All right. Ooh, already fallen.
That's pretty good.
Yum. Pretty dang good.
Pretty dang good. It's creamy, spicy with the sausage. Mm-hmm. It's excellent. It's super easy. You know, this is the kind of recipe that cooking from home and cooking with fire can be really intimidating for a lot of people. But when you have a recipe like this as like a starting point, it really builds confidence as like a young cook or like a person who's starting out with dough, that you can make something in 2 hours. Like I made this dough 2 hours ago and it came out great. Like I don't have to worry about it, and it's really satisfying when something comes out like this really well. Awesome.
Awesome. Well,
Sweet.
we hope you guys head over to Ooni.com and make this at home, and check out Gill Meller's new cookbook outside.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thanks.